In 1 week, we've seen Drake do a song with Tupac, which he had to take down. And we've also seen Childish Gambino do a song with C3PO. But what does this mean for the future of music and the future of the music video? Let's discuss. Welcome to the In a Nutshell podcast with myself, Andrew Miles Davis, and my co-host, Chris Branch. This is the daily 10-minute podcast where we take out all of the techie talk around generative AI and focus on what the everyday person, content creator, and marketer wants to hear. Now, we've only got 10 minutes, so we can only focus on one subject. And today, we're going to talk about the future of music and the music videos. Now, this is a subject that we speak about quite a lot recently. Something that we really care about, the future of music or anything within entertainment. When we say the future, really, what is generative AI's impact on it? Mm-hmm. And today we're going to talk about a video that Chris actually sent me, and it was a Childish Gambino video with C3PO rapping. And it was, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. It was kind of like, oh, this is really cool, creative, but I wasn't really feeling the song. I wasn't really feeling the rap. But I did think to myself, this looks like the future, because what was done looks like pretty much anyone can do. And even though with this video, you should just Google it, just Google it or put it on YouTube, Google it, and you can find the video. It wasn't easy to make. Like now, I think they used about 28 different tools, from lip syncing tools to video generation tools and image generators. But I can see in a few years' time, or the way things are going, probably in about 6 months' time, anyone can do that with a few prompts. So, Chris, as obviously you're the one who sent me the video, what was your take? In fact, how did you even find it? Was it something that was like you saw on Reddit, people were talking about? How did you find the video?
I think it got randomly suggested to me in my home feed on YouTube, but then I had been researching, the best examples of generative music videos. So it's something that caught a little trend in YouTube. And I say little because it still has under 100,000 views, which is relatively small for YouTube numbers.
Yeah.
But it was a cool example, like you said, of the future of music potentially. But I didn't like the song either. I just thought, what was interesting is the idea of C3PO being the rapper and, his voice saying whatever you wanted it to. And I think that is the future. There will be apps, whether it's TikTok or others that introduce this, and maybe they'll do it like Meta, when they had the big influencers that you could talk to as a chatbot. Instead, you could have, Snoop's voice as a license that you could add to your track or whatever. Now, I don't know, what real musicians are going to think of this, and they need to be offered a lot of money in order to even consider that. But, if the label was up for it and they wanted to get a few billion views potentially, I could see people like Dua Lipa or like someone like that doing it.
Yeah, I think there's so many different directions we can go in this one episode. But I think that from what you just said, licensing the voice is one thing, and that's going to be who's going to control your voice. Is it the record label? Because obviously you've got 360 deals. Now in the 360 will all AI generated voice licensing? Will that be a thing? But also, as you mentioned, that you can get anyone doing anything. And I guess the question is, some of the potential things it can do. You can get, as we mentioned before, you had AI, you had Drake doing a diss track and he brought in Tupac. Obviously, Tupac died many, many years ago, and his estate was about to sue him, so he had to take it down. Now you've got this one with C3PO and Childish Gambino. You can get anyone and anything. Now, I'm sure that Star Wars didn't license it out.
No, the person definitely did not.
The person who created this, a guy called Daniel Eckler, and I think on Twitter it's called Eckler Design. He's the one who created this. So it'd be interesting to kind of see if he's had any, I wouldn't necessarily say backlash, but did he get like a few letters, cease and desist letters for this particular video. But he showed potential. You know, that's the thing. He showed what you can potentially do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we were saying before, we can see a lot more people doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
around this type of look and feel, because it also goes into something that we spoke about before, and that's character consistency. Because you're going to have, let's say, for example, C3PO is, there's only one C3PO, but if you've got a particular person of a particular style, then that's where character consistency is going to play a big part in these platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Because C3PO, as I said, it's easy to recreate that in multiple things. But if you're trying to recreate Britney Spears, and you type in Britney Spears, they'll say no because it's Britney Spears. But you can type in blonde lady and some of her other attributes.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to change every time. So that character consistency is going to really play a big part within music videos.
Most definitely, yeah. And like, one of the initial things is that it's still on YouTube. It hasn't been taken down.
Mm.
So that's something, and it's like whether or not it's shown up on Disney's radar yet, or whether it's flown under and it's just kind of with the, geeky AI people that are looking for it, like myself. I don't know is the actual answer to that. But YouTube is, historically very, very strong on copyright infringement.
Yeah.
And they will either demonetize or just totally take you down and or sue you. So like, the fact that it's still there a week after. Yeah.
It's actually, if you Google C3PO times Childish Gambino Gold Gang, that's what it's called. Official AI music video by Drop Music, and it's only got 9,000 views.
And here's the thing: is that a re-upload? We don't know, because that's what happens with the internet. Once it's there, it's always there. Like, we talked recently about like Udio, which is our favorite music platform, or my favorite. You're the Suno king, I'm the Udio king, and that got released through a deleted tweet. Accidentally someone posted it, and then they deleted it, and then someone found the deleted tweet and reposted that. So once it's on the internet, even if you delete it, you can go back into the archive and find deleted stuff. So, it's essentially forever.
Yeah, that's the internet. There's actually, I'm Googling it right now as we speak. It's actually been uploaded 3 times.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
what's happening.
The most is they're called Space Cadet. They've got 19,000 views. So it's not
relatively small.
Yeah, it's still quite small considering. But
I bet somewhere on Reddit it's got like 1 million views.
Yeah, I'm sure. But this is YouTube. I'm sure, because even there's the third one is only 31 seconds, so I'm sure it's like huge on TikTok.
Yeah. But this is the idea. It's essentially, we're talking about stuff that's uncontrollable. Once it's on the internet, nobody, even Disney, can stop it, because they can ban the first person and then it gets re-uploaded, and then they can ban the second person and then it gets re-uploaded. Now, the more something gets banned, the more people re-upload it, because that's the internet trend, right? Like, think of the Pirate Bay. The Pirate Bay has been through thousands of hands and been taken down thousands of times. And each time someone receives a zip file, they upload it, and it's back in the air again. And you're like, this thing's uncontrollable.
Yeah, this won't stop. As I think a lot of artists will embrace this. I can see artists putting out a song and saying, "You guys come up with like the video." And whoever does the best one wins, and you'll win a prize. Yeah, I can see.
That's actually a really cool idea, because that's, in marketing, we call this like user generated content.
Yeah.
UGC, so we might have MGC, music generated content, which is fan driven, remixes.
Fan driven music videos. Yeah. Which you couldn't really do before unless you was expert at like filming or like even like animation. Yeah. Now with Sora, with a few other ones that we'll be talking about very, very soon, you can just a few prompts, some prompts, a storyboard, and some creativity. You've created a music video. And what will be really interested is when you can go back to old songs. So I've always been, let's say I'm a big fan of Eminem, big fan of Jay-Z, big fan of Nas, big fan of Biggie, like all the like hip hop artists. I was never a big fan of the radio songs. I was always the album cuts. They were the ones, and you can come up with concept. You can come up with videos for this, because at the moment, what you'll see is you'll have the lyrics. So you always get the songs on it, but you'll have the lyrics, or it's just a static image of a song that you like, which is an album cut. But
Mm-hmm.
now, if I'm an old artist or the record label, whoever owns the publishing, I'll say, go back to my old archive. Who can create the best music video?
Well, in a nutshell, maybe that is the strength of this, is that everyone does have an archive if you're a musician. So embracing this means you can make a lot more, but it will be a shock to the industry.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that the music videos, like with music itself, is definitely going to be affected by generative AI.
Yeah, because the cost will go down to zero.